My next Patreon question is from Joey, who wanted me to compare two of Disney's most popular animated villains. Which of these two Disney villains do you think is better? Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty or Jafar from Aladdin? Andreas Deja was said to have taken inspiration from Mark Davis's design for Maleficent when he designed Jafar. They both have magical staffs to do their evil work, they both have birds for their henchmen. Maleficent has an unnamed silent raven, whereas Jafar had a talking parrot named Iago, and both turn into gigantic animals during the climaxes of their respective movies. Maleficent turns into a dragon, while Jafar turns into a cobra snake. I certainly find both of these villains to be excellent and worthy additions to the Disney canon, each proving to be rather diabolical in their evil plans and attempts to stop the heroes. I actually had to really think about who I find to be the stronger villain, but I'm going to pick Jafar. A lot of his motivation is driven primarily by his thirst for political power, and it's fascinating watching the steps he takes to obtain it. We actually get to see him before Aladdin and Jasmine appear on screen, and the film properly establishes how much he desperately wants the magic lamp. Yet he does not have a one-track mind about it either. We see how Jafar uses the magical abilities he already has to manipulate the Sultan of Agrabah. And when it seems like he'll never get a hold of the lamp, he decides to change course and become Sultan in a different way by attempting to marry Jasmine. He's probably one of the smartest Disney villains, and quite funny too. I know the genie gets most of the big laughs in the movie, but Jafar's dry wit also leads to some great lines, especially when he confronts Aladdin's princely alter ego. Jafar is a villain so conniving he takes the hero's own song and uses it to embarrass him. I also love how over-the-top Jafar is. Sometimes he appears stuffy and sophisticated, and then at other times he will cackle with unfiltered delight. When Jafar turns into a snake, he seems to revel the opportunity. Of course, his hubris gets the better of him, and he's defeated when Aladdin uses his own clever street smarts. It's quite a unique way for a Disney villain to be beaten by the hero. I also have to mention Jonathan Freeman, who did a superb job of giving Jafar the right powerful voice that makes him a genuine threat for Aladdin. Andreas Deja also deserves a lot of credit for bringing the character to life. Like Joey mentioned, Maleficent served as an inspiration for his visual design, and the animation is wonderfully expressive. Maleficent is also a fantastic villain, one who is always proud to show off her incredible powers. There's also something wonderfully petty about why she curses Aurora. She was not invited to a baby shower. That's pretty much it, and honestly, we don't need a backstory for the lack of invitation. She's an evil witch who lives in a scary castle and is surrounded by vicious monsters as her minions. The way she later messes with Prince Philip by kidnapping him and hoping to force him to grow old before letting him off to go kiss Aurora is an especially devious plan. And then there's that remarkable scene where she turns into a dragon. I've sometimes seen Sleeping Beauty dismissed as a bore, partly because Aurora is not in the movie long enough to leave an impression. That's fair, but the climax with the prince and fairies going up against Maleficent makes for an exciting sequence in my opinion. The music, the animation, and Maleficent's evilness all come together for a brilliant confrontation between these characters. Mark Davis, one of Disney's greatest animators, was responsible for Maleficent, and she was definitely among his most impressive character animation achievements. Meanwhile, Eleanor Audley had previously voiced and was the live-action reference for Cinderella's stepmother, and took on the same responsibilities for Maleficent. It's a fantastic performance, as you can tell how much the character loves being evil, and is determined to make sure Aurora falls into a deep sleep and stays that way, although there was certainly an overconfidence there. Now tell me, do you think Jafar or Maleficent is the better Disney villain? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for your question, Joey.